Okay, so your first thing to do before multiplying is to factorize if you can. So look for some factors. What are the factors here for this one, Serena?
X minus 3, x plus 3.
So we get x minus 3, x plus 3. And this one is 3 times 9x and x plus 3. At this point, we can see what our excluded values are. So there's only one excluded value here on this one. What is it? X minus 3. We can see because the denominator here has this factor that this means this is an excluded value. There's no excluded value here for this. Next up, what we want to do is we want to cancel any common factors. So any common factors vertically or diagonally can be cancelled. So we can cancel this factor with this factor. Next up, what we do, multiplication is easy with fractions. Multiplying with fractions is easy. You multiply the numerators, you multiply the denominators. That's it. So this is going to be x minus 3 multiplied by 9x, and on the bottom, 3 times 1. That's it. We're basically done there. We might want to, it says find the product, so if I stop there at that point, I've found the product. It doesn't say simplify, unless it says and simplify. I don't have to do any simplification. But you should, because we're math nerds. So here on this one, look for any factors vertically now. Like for instance, this 3 can cancel a 3 in that factor, and then we're simply expanding to x squared minus 3x. And this is our result. I don't know. No questions there? Oh, reread the question at the end. I guess it wants me to state the excluded values. X equal to minus 3 is excluded.
Yeah.
There's a 3.
Oh, there's a 3. I missed the 3. Yeah. So 3x squared minus 9. It's in it.
I can't see the board properly because of the reflection from the window.
Thanks, Laura.
So why is x minus value?
Have you still not done those IXLs yet? Have you learned from it? Or have you math weighted?
No, I don't. I'm just reminding myself. I remember the excluded.
So the excluded values are whenever the denominator is equal to 0. So set all your denominators equal to 0 and then solve. So any linear factor is expressed as x minus some value, omega, like this one. So in this particular case, we have the linear factor x plus 3, which implies that omega is equal to negative 3. Slightly more challenging one. Try this one for yourself for a few minutes. I will pause the video. All right, let's have a look at this one. So first, can we have quiet? Can we have quiet? First up, we want to factor it. We've got 3x squared here. What are the factors in the denominator here for this one? Let's see hands. Okay, wow. X minus 4 times x plus 2. Excellent. Oops, no. Okay, so in the numerator here, can we factorize this one? Rodrigo?
2, x plus 2, and x minus 5.
And then in the denominator. Okay? Like this. Excellent, excellent. So, what are our excluded values? Let's stick those in now. Excluded values. What are the different excluded values? We've got, let's start with the negative one, -2, then the smallest positive one, 4, and then 5. Take a second just to sort of put these in order from smallest to largest.
Does it have to be like that? Like small letters?
Well, if you want me to think good things about you, yes. It's not mathematically wrong, but every time I read that type of thing, I just frown and think this person deserves punishment.
Dimitri. The x plus 2 is cancelled out. Then there's an x plus 2 that.
You're moving on to the next piece before I'm even ready? Really? You're already jumping ahead? Alright, yeah. As Dimitri says, look at this. Bling, bling, bling. We love that. That all disappears. This gives us 6x squared. I'm going to leave this in factored form. It's nice. So we've got the unfactored form there, so we're not really showing any skill to expand it. These type of expressions are often easier to handle like this. Serena?
And the excluded values that we define reference
No.
with from before.
At least always from the original and the final answer, but also sometimes if some mathematical process along the way can introduce excluded values at that point too. Is it?
How does x equal 4 become an excluded value?
X equals 4 is the value that will make the linear factor x minus 4 equal to 0. Division by 0 is not allowed.
Can you not simplify the x plus 2 bracket?
What would it become?
Just like we're taking away since it's on the other.
You can't cancel a factor twice. So what you're asking is something similar to, we've got 9 over 3. Do we cancel this to 3 or 1? There's 2 3's in the top. Can you not cancel both of the 3's? Yeah. Anna.
So
X minus?
next to x minus 4. Why is that?
X plus 2. Sorry, this board is a bit unsensitive. Okay. Next up is division. How do we do division of fractions? Danny?
You flip the second, the one that's being divided by, and then you multiply it.
The one that's being divided by. What word do we know for that expression? Do we flip the dividend or the divisor? The divisor. Let's have some correct mathematical language on it. When we use this type of mathematical language in front of other people, it makes us look smarter, and it makes them feel small, which is the purpose of mathematics. Have a go at this one. I will pause the video, give you some time. Okay, so let's start off by factoring, and also we'll do a keep change flip. So here on this one, it's already factored. Thank you very much. So then we'll do keep change flip. So we'll flip the second one and factor the denominator and put it in the numerator. That's going to give us an x plus 2, x minus 1. The numerator will factor and write it in the denominator. We've got an x plus 2 and an x plus 7. let's identify any excluded values. So our excluded values here. Our excluded values are going to be the original equation has the excluded values x equals -2 and x equals 1. Once we do the keep change flip, we introduce the excluded value -7. So excluded values are x equals -7 plus, -2 and +1. We have, yeah, thank you. And 0,
Yeah, plus one.
and 0. 0 coming from this one.
Where's one again?
Plus one.
1 is coming from this one.
But isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the bottom one.
It's the bottom one in the original
Oh, interesting.
So basically, both the top and bottom.
of the divisor.
Only if it's a dividing. If it's just like a multiplying, you can't take it.
So here
Sorry, can we hear Zinedin's question?
the factors in the divisor are also part of excluded values. Does this only apply when dividing or also when multiplying?
Only when dividing.
Got it.
Because it
It's flipped.
flips, so it's in both. Yeah. So our cancelling now, we've got some +2s that are going to go. This +7 will take out one of those, and we are left with. We're going to left with x squared plus 6x minus 7 over x squared. 3.
But we can leave as the factor x plus 7 times x minus 1 over x squared. We can either, or do we have to multiply them?
I would normally expand the factors in the numerator. I'm not sure why. Just we're simplifying. Also, this is a new expression. So sometimes with the denominator ones, you're sort of factoring it, and then if you're expanding, it's going back to where you were anyway. You're not really showing anything here. But here on this one, this x plus 7 times x minus 1, this is a new expression we haven't seen yet. Let's see it in its standard form. Okay. That's it for today. Have a go. Start off with your IXL to practice, but don't forget this is the important one. This is where the questions in the exam are coming from. The IXLs are useful for me to track that you're getting the basic ideas, and they're simpler questions. The questions here get a little bit more complicated.
For the last homework, here are all the answers for all the questions.
No,
Like,
you can always, so you can sometimes find the answers by graphing the question.
it was like a word problem, that's all.
So if it's harder with a word problem, sorry.
There were 3 word problems I figured out, so I couldn't figure out.
All right, tell me which word problem, and I'll have a go at it now. All right.
The
Did I end our video? No. There we go. All right. Have a good day.